Hey, what up everyone, this is Mondo All Day, back with another video. In this video, I'll be doing a build guide for Moon Knight. I'll be going over which artifacts to use, which uniques to use, medallion, insignia, as well as go over the powers, talents, and traits, the hero synergies, and at the very end, show you my rotation and give you some tips and pointers as far as how I was able to pass Cosmic Trial with Moon Knight with this build without using any affinity points. So let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to look at are the artifacts. So the first artifact is Hyde's Formula. I mean, it is for when you use a med kit, you inject yourself with Hyde's Formula, which grants you damage rating increase, defense rating increase, health generation, and it increases your size for 30 seconds. That's pretty good. It's a good extra little buff or bonus when you use a med kit. But I'm using this for the brutal strike rating, health increase, as well as a brutal damage rating. So those three alone is really good for Moon Knight, and also for that buff too. Then I'm using Book of Demonicas. I'm using this because this grants you +3 to all attributes, which is really good because again he is mainly durability and fighting. So having basically 6 points added to your main attributes is really good. And plus obviously this grants you 3 points to all attributes, which is even good too. But also too, when you hit with the basic power, you gain 30 extra damage rating for 3 seconds. It stacks up to 25 times. So I'm sure you can do the math. It's quite a bit of damage increase to your damage rating when you use the basic power. And I use a lot of his basics, so this is really good for him. And then I'm using Skull Avenger's Medallion. I'm using this for the attack speed increase, health increase, and not so much for the plus strength. But also too, when you hit with the melee power, you gain the Harness of Captain America, which grants you melee damage increase. And when you hit with the range power, you grant Miss Marvel's power, which grants you range damage increase. And this is a hybrid build. This is range and melee, so this is a perfect combination because I'm always using both melee and range, so it's always going to get that buff. But also too, when you activate both range and melee, I gain +2 fighting, which again, that's good for him because he is also durability and fighting. So it's a good medallion for him. Then I'm using Mayhem Demon Blood. This one grants me health increase, physical damage rating increase, and then obviously 10 stacks, which grants me 2 fighting and 2 speed. Then I'm using Kevlar Plated Helmet. Again, for the critical hit rating, 2 range attacks, which is really good. The deflect rating, but when you critically hit, gain 5 fighting for 5 seconds. That's really good because 5 times 4, that's 20% extra base damage right there, just for this artifact. So that's really good. Then for the Forge, 800 defense, and I have it blessed to where I gain +1 durability, health, and defense rating increase. I went this route because I wanted to increase my defense. This is a melee build, as I mentioned. This is a hybrid range and melee, so I wanted it to increase his durability, which grants also the health increase and defense rating. Not a whole lot, but I figured I want that extra health and defense. So legendary, I'm using Savage Axe. Obviously this grants me physical damage rating and critical hit rating, brutal strike rating, and so forth to physical power, so this is really good because he's all physical. Then for the ring, I'm using Sling Ring of Camartage. This grants me attack speed and critical hit rating, also damage rating to physical powers, which is all physical damage, and also to the health increase. That's really good amount of health increase, so hence why I'm using this. And then for uniques, I'm using all of Moon Knight's uniques. They're all pretty good as is. So, and then for the costume, I'm using Moon Knight's Marvel Now costume, as you can see. For the catalyst, I have her to where I gain +3 durability and damage rating to range powers, and also 55 increase to his spirit. And then the Cosmic is after using a signature, gain 1000 damage rating for 4 seconds, which is really good. And also too, when you are attacked, gain 500 deflect rating for 10 seconds. And then this also has the defense rating as well too, which is a 1000. A visual size increase, which makes him buffer or bigger, excuse me. And then the crafted affixes, of course, critical damage rating as always. And then for insignia, I'm using Insignia of Captain America. When you pick up any orb, you and your allies gain health increase, and when you hit with a physical power, you and your allies gain damage rating increase, critical hit rating increase, brutal strike rating, defense, and deflect rating. But also this insignia grants me deflect rating and defense rating increase. So I'm mainly using this for the defense and deflect.
I've done terrible things.
Because I mentioned he is this is a melee build, and so I want his defense to be up there. That way he can hold his ground, hold his own. And then for the pet, I have it to where I take 2% less damage from enemy range powers, 40 plus spirit or energy, however you want to put it, 2% base damage to melee powers, 2 ranks to ultimate powers, and then plus 3 durability. And for the team up, I am using Spider-Man. This is Spider-Man, but this is for the Fortune Card 6, which means that you have to, in order for you to get this particular Spider-Man, you have to open up the Fortune Card 6, I believe, to obtain this team up. So let's get into the powers. The powers I use from top to bottom, left to right, they're Spike Gauntlets. Let me see what else. Truncheon or Ricochet. Probably pronouncing it correctly. Sorry about that. Sistos Uppercut. Nothing there. Nope. Oh, Justice from Above. Gruesome Frenzy, which is signature. Of course, you want to use that. Statue of Kanushu. And then Angel Wing Attack Run. Fitting new points is 0. None were used for Cosmic Trial. Hero Synergies. Alright, here we go. Cable for the critical rating multiplier. Colossus for the health increase and physical damage increase. Signature for the Dr. Doom for the signature damage increase. Elektra for the physical damage and damage to bosses increase. Hawkeye for the move speed and critical damage increase. Moon Knight for the critical hit rating multiplied to physical powers. Rogue for the health on hit and 1 Kenosha favor or spirit on hit. War Machine for the plus 10 spirit and then plus 1 fighting. Winter Soldier for the range power and melee power damage increase, and then Wolverine for the brutal strike and brutal damage increase. You can use X-23 for the bleeding because I do have a bleeding power, but I just decided not to. Now for the talents and traits. For the first row, the first talent I'm using is Divine Protection. What this does is it regenerates 100% of my maximum health when you health and spirit when you are defeated. Again, basically when I die, it regenerates my full health and spirit when I die. And then, but this also grants me my maximum health increase by 1300. So it increases my health to 1300, but also my defense rating multiplier gains 10% more. And I also increase my spirit by 10 per hit. So basically, when I get hit, I increase my Kenosha or my favor. I'll just call it favor, make it easier. Every time I get hit, I gain 10 favor. So that's what I'm using. I'm using Divine Protection. For the second row, I'm using is Aerial Attack talent. What this does is Angel Wing Attack Run. I increase it by 2 charges. And the cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds. And then also this talent grants me Justice from Above. Max charges is 2, so I get additional 2. But the cooldown is reduced by 2 seconds. And I chose this because I use these 2 powers a lot, which is Justice from Above and Angel Wing, and so they're my melee and range. So to me, I think this would be a benefit for them because by itself they do quite a bit of damage. So having the extra charge is really, really good. So again, it's Angel Wing and Justice from Above. And for the third talent, for the third row for the talent I'm using is Toll's Vengeance of Sistos Gauntlet. So what this does is when you have this talent, Sistos Uppercut, which is this one right here, gains 75% extra damage, has a cooldown of 4 seconds, has 2 charges, and does critical hit chance by 5%, and then Spike Gauntlets, I believe it's this one. Oh no, yeah, this is basically my basic. It has critical hit chance by 5%. So what this does is with this talent, Sistos Uppercut, I'll just call it Uppercut. Uppercut increases the damage rating by 75%. Again, has a cooldown unfortunately, but I get 2 charges, and also it increases my critical hit chance. Not only to Uppercut, but also my basic, which is Gauntlets. The fourth talent, or fourth row, I'm using is Tools of Vengeance. So what this does is Truncheon Ricochet, which is this power. Not that one. Excuse me. Max charges of 3, which is I believe is this one right here, which is his range. Basically, it's similar to Daredevil's. I call them sticks. I don't know the exact terminology, but anyways, it increases the charges. has a cooldown reduction of 1 second, but has a bonus effect, which I get base damage increase to melee power 10%, and a duration is 4 seconds, and stacks up to 3 times. So basically, when I use this power, Ricochet, when I activate it, I gained a buff, which grants me 10% more damage increase to my melee powers. That's really, really good, and again, I'll go over in the rotation, but again, it stacks up to 3 times, so that's really good. And for the 5th row, for the talents, I'm using gifts from on high. Whenever you activate Statue of Knush, I can't even pronounce the statue, or Avatar, basically any of these two, the other will activate for free. Also, this increases the spirit by 200. So basically, with this talent, if I activate any one of these, it'll automatically activate the other one. So instead of having both in your hotbar, you can just choose one. And with this one, as soon as you activate it, it's going to activate both at the same time, and also grants me 200 health, which is really, really good. So those are my talents and traits. Now let's get into the rotation. It's pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but I'd rather go over it. So just 2 things just to get out the way. The first one, Spiked, I'm going to be using, this is my basic, this is my main power I use. I use this because it does somewhat decent damage, but one of the main reasons why I use it is because the damage is increased by 50% versus the bleeding. So when I use this power, my basic, to an enemy that's bleeding, it increases the damage by 50%. Which leads to my other power, which is Uppercut. Uppercut does not only do quite a bit of damage, but also does bleeding, which is really, really good because it lasts about 6 seconds. But if you combine Uppercut with Spiked Gauntlets, you're increasing the damage of Spiked Gauntlets by 50%. Hence why I'm using these two. And plus, I gained a critical hit chance according to this talent. So these two always go together. Alright. So let's get into the rotation. Simple, simple, simple. One of the first things I usually do is activate, again, depending on the area you're at, or the terrain, I should say. So if, for instance, this is a single target, the first thing I will utilize is activate Justice from Above. Because when you activate this, I'll just show you. See that? If I have a single target. But if I have many enemies or targets, let's just say, for example, like here, for instance, what I would do is, instead of using Justice from Above, I would use Angel Wing Attack Run. I'll show you what it looks like. Just like that. So it really depends. So if, let's just say, we're going to pretend we only have a single target, the first thing I'm going to do is Justice from Above, and then Angel Wing Attack Run, and then after that, use Truncheon, I can't even pronounce it, Truncheon, whatever, Ricochet, and then obviously do 2 uppercuts, and then obviously do it again, Justice from Above, Angel Wing, and then just keep using basic, and then whenever you can, use uppercut. That'll never work. So it looks, with combining everything together, it looks something like this. There you go. I don't know why I'm getting it. Uppercut, and then, but I'm always hitting with the basic. And just from above, angel, throw those things, uppercut, and so forth. Just like that. Again, that's if I have a single target. If I had like many targets, I would just do the opposite. I would start up with Angel Wing, and then do Justice from Above, and then do Ricochet, maybe twice, maybe 3 times if you want. The good thing is that this hits 8 enemies, which is really good, and does quite a bit of damage. So that's 3 charges, but for me, it depends. So if it's a single target like right here, start with Justice from Above, Angel Wing, Ricochet, uppercut twice, just to get him out the way and get that bleeding going. That way when I use my basic does 50% more damage, and just do the rotation like that. Just keep doing the rotation, which is Justice from Above, Angel Wing, ricochet, and just basic. And once uppercut is available, then do it rotation again, which is just from above, angel wing, ricochet, uppercut as many times, maybe twice or once, and then just spike gauntlets. Again, you always want to utilize spike gauntlets after uppercut because you want that bleeding. Show you one more time. Again, it's really simple rotation, which is justice from above, angel, ricochet maybe once or twice, uppercut once or twice, and then just basic, and then rotation again. Just from above, angel wing, ricochet, uppercut, okay. Just from above, angel wing, ricochet, just from above, angel, ricochet, uppercut, and then like that. And now again, if I had multiple enemies, I would just do the same thing, but instead of starting with just from above, I would start with our angel wing, and then do just from above. It's just a preference choice, to be honest with you. Nothing. This is something you usually do, but to me, if I have a lot of enemies like this, I would do angel wing just from above, and pick a target. So the key thing, you gotta pick a target, do the uppercut, and then just do basic. Just from above, pick a target. Just like that. Okay, that's my, I guess you could say that's 2 rotations. One, you start off with just from above, and then angel wing, or the second one would be the opposite, angel wing, then just from above, and so forth. Now, the third rotation, or second one, or however you want to put it, is using statue. What this does, statue, is, well, first you need to have full spirit or favor, however you want to call it. That has to be fully generated, so keep that in mind. So you cannot activate statue unless this is full. Once this is full, like how it is right now, then you can activate statue. Well, what statue does is, when you activate it, you get your health regenerate 10% of max health per second, but you also get a base damage of 25% increase and critical hit chance by 10%. Alright, the duration is about 10 seconds long, 3 seconds plus 1 second per 200 favor or spirit spent, meaning that right now alone it's like 10 seconds, but every 1 second or every 200 favors or spirit is used, increases by 1 second the duration. So for instance, if I had 1,000, just to give you an example, if I had 1,000 spirit or favor, that's per 200, 1,000 divided by 200, that's 5. So the duration of this would be 9.8 seconds plus the 5 seconds. So it's quite a bit. And the good thing about this is that it increases the base damage 25%, critical hit chance 10%, and it's, to me personally, it's really good. And it looks funny, especially because you lose all your spirit and health. But I'm gonna read you the next one. As remember, as according to this town right here, which is gifts on high, when you activate one, you activate the other. So this buff not only grants me damage and health regeneration and critical hit chance, but it also activates this other buff, which, again, you can't activate this power without having full maxed out favor or spirit. But when you activate it, health is reduced to 1, cannot be regenerated, and cannot be reduced by below 1. 0.3% of the damage you deal is returned to you as health when gift expires. Very similar duration, 9.8, whatever. So basically, your health is reduced all the way down to 1, and cannot be reduced below 1. So basically, you're steady at 1 health. But 0.3% of the damage you deal is returned to you as health when it expires, meaning that whatever damage you do, 0.3% of the damage you do to any enemies, you will regenerate health once the buff duration is completely removed. So for instance, let's say I activate this power, whatever damage I do, let's say I do, I'm not good with math, but let's say I do 1,000 damage to the enemy, then 0.3% of that would be, I think it's like 30%, no, it would be 30, or yeah, 30. We'll just go, yeah, I think it's 30. So I would regenerate 30 health back, because I did 1,000 damage. So That's what this one does. That's what when you have this specific talent active on and you activate any of the statues, you'll notice that my spirit go all the way down, but also my health go down to 1, which to me this is really good because when you activate this, honestly your health is reduced to 1, but it can be regenerated, but also it cannot be reduced below 1. So meaning you're stuck at 1 health for the duration of time. But if you read it clearly, the duration is 9.8 seconds. 3 seconds plus 1 second per 200, that's 9.8 right there. So again, that's really good, and you want to extend the duration as much as possible, because when you activate with this talent, when you activate any statue and you activate this one, or when Avatar is activated, you're literally at 1 health for the total duration. And the good thing about it is that it cannot be reduced. So meaning you're just stuck at 1 health. So meaning you're basically invulnerable for that duration. So to me, that's really, really good. I personally think it's probably one of the best buffs, because once you activate it, I'm going to activate it right now. See? 1 health. And so I can just keep doing damage, and whatever damage I do, see? And then, well, it came, and once it completely, the buff is removed, then I get my health regeneration, which I didn't do a lot of damage, but you get the point. So to me, that's how this works. To me, this is really, really good. So again, if you have this talent, which is gifts from on high, you can have either statue or avatar. It doesn't matter on your hotbar. Just as long as you have one of them, activate it, and it activates the other. So mainly you're gonna activate both of these at the same time. So that's how that works. But now going to my, I guess you can say second rotation is using a signature. Signature is really, really good. I like the signature. So it can be activated up to 14 times within 7 seconds, meaning that as soon as you hit it, you can hit the signature button 14 times, but you have 7 seconds. And it does quite a bit of damage. It's per hit, but the finishing blow, or in this case finishing crush, does quite a bit of damage. And also too, it does execute, meaning that 1% of damage per 1% of target's missing health. So it does quite a bit of damage. And so going to my second rotation, or third, however you want to put it, how I would incorporate signature with all this. Simple. Before you activate signature, make sure you have all your full what do you call it, favor or spirit regenerated, because before I activate signature, I make sure I have this activated, so when I'm going to use my signature, I activate statue. That way I get that base damage increase, the critical hit chance, as well as I use my medkit. That way I can not only increase the size but also get Hyde's formula, which again, it grants you a buff of 273 damage rating and defense rating and so forth. So I want that buff. And so before I activate my signature, one of the things I usually do is make sure I have the spirit. Once the spirit is fully I have 100% of my spirit or favor, activate statue, medkit to get Hyde's formula's buff, and then use my signature. So right now I'll just show you how it looks like and what it means, so you can get a better picture. I'm just kind of regenerating my spirit, quite a bit, a lot, but. Activate right there. Perfect. So now I have full spirit. So again, before I use my signature, make sure I have this the spirit or favor. Once it's full, I'll usually do statue and then medkit to grow and also get his buff, Hyde's formula's buff, and then do signature. So you can see what it looks like. So here we go. And then boom, that blow. Look at that, 777,000. And then just do the rotation again. Oops. And just like that. I know it kind of ruined it, but hopefully you get the point. But you always want to activate, before you activate signature, I always recommend you combining signature with statue with signature, because that way when you activate signature, you gain the extra what do you call it? The base damage by 25%, the critical hit chance by 10%, and you want that critical hit chance to increase because, according to this, when your critical hits, gain 5 fighting, and you want that because when you gain 5 fighting with this buff, increases your base damage by 20%. So again, it's just buff after buff after buff. It's just increasing, and plus also too, when you activate Medkit, you gain Hyde's Formula, which increases your damage rating. So hopefully you see the pattern here. It increases your damage overall, so that way when you do finishing blow or finishing crush or on Moon Knight's signature, it's just gonna do a lot of damage, and it's just gonna help you even more. And yeah, this is my rotation. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. And yeah, this is my, again, Moon Knight's cool, awesome. I like him. I like his costumes. I definitely like how he's set up now. He's a lot stronger. Before he was a bit weak, but to me now he's a lot more stronger and more enjoyable. So yeah, this is my build guide for Moon Knight. Very simple, straightforward, cheap and easy, as someone once told me. But I was able to pass the Cosmic Trial, and I do play time to time with raids with this build. But obviously I use my Infinity Points and stuff like that. But for Cosmic Trial, this is a really good solid build, and you can easily pass Cosmic Trial. And yeah, if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section below. Any requests for certain characters, again, leave it in the comment section below. I know someone asked for Iron Fist. I'm working on that. I actually have him already ready to go. I just haven't made a video. As for Rogue, I'm trying to aim for next week to do 2 builds for Rogue, either range and melee, but I'll do my best. And also 2, Black Bolt came out this weekend, so I'll try it with Black Bolt. So far, I'm not liking them. No offense to anyone, but I think I just have to give them a try. But yeah, again, any questions, leave it in the comment section below. Requests for certain characters, leave it in the comment section below. If you guys like this build guide, leave it in the comment section below. If you want to support the channel and you want to keep up to date with my channel, with my recent videos, again, subscribe to my channel. Not only does it help the channel grow, but it means a lot to me as well. And yeah, that's it. This is my build guide for Moon Knight. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. And until the next one, bye-bye.